Welcome back to the channel, and we're going to turn this into the house on the hill. Let's get building. So thanks so much for the response to the channel. It's been great last couple of weeks, and you would have noticed I've been working on a series of builds that are kind of medieval or Viking or kind of early European influenced. And so today I'm going to continue that trend with I guess it's the king's house or a banquet hall or something like that. I'm not quite sure what to call it. I'm calling it the house on the hill, and we're going to build in this area here, and it'll also show you a little bit about building on top of hills and how you can do that effectively. So I've actually built a whole settlement on this particular hill in the past, which I think I have a video somewhere on the channel that shows that. But anyway, we're going to build something that is very very medieval looking, almost Skyrim in orientation. So we'll see how we go, and I'll do the disclaimer right now. I've never played Skyrim before, so if I don't get this quite right, please don't dislike me. Just moving those blocks up a little bit so the grass is not poking through. And I've sped this up because a lot of this is just very repetitive, so I've got it happening at a fairly quick speed with the blocks. But you'll at least get to see how I generally build on a hill and downwards. So I have a vision in my head how this should look, and I also want to try and make sure that it's in keeping with what we've already built in the settlement so far. I'm only scrapping what I need to as well, by the way. I'm not going to scrap everything. I think it helps to sell things. So I'm just figuring out here the best way of getting the blocks, because I want to then drop the level of the blocks here, and I'm just trying to figure out what the best way of doing this is. So you can see I'm trying a number of techniques to get this to drop a level down, and I think in the end I end up just doing this and doing it by hand. And sometimes you got to put these blocks in just to get the level right, and then a lot of the time these blocks are pretty good. You will get them to go to a certain point where they will clip in, and clip them right across, all the way across, and then you can take the piece out where the stairs go. So they're pretty forgiving, these blocks here. I want to make sure they go all the way across so they're all at the same level. So that's pretty good there. And we'll do the same thing for the last level. That's where the stairs are, right there. We need one of those half blocks there for the stairs. Now I've never come across this before with these stairs, that they actually have a gap there, but that's okay. We just put one of these half concrete blocks there and we're sorted, and then put another set of stairs there. So that's pretty good. With a lot of this, when you're doing this kind of stuff, this kind of building, I like to put the foundation in first. A lot of the time I'm not quite sure how big it's going to be, so I'll put the foundation in first, and then you can adjust from there as needed. And you can see, just drop that in and just ease it into place. Take your time, get it right. I think I've said this several times, but make sure that first one's right and everything will flow from there. So we're getting there quite nicely. So first step is just to get roughly what you want in place, and then you can start building beyond that. So this is quite a big build. It does take quite a while. I'm not going to show you all of it because I think there's a real value to it. A lot of it is repetitive stuff, but I think this first part is probably important to show you because it does give you some idea how to get this base foundation correct, and then beyond that what you do with it. I do switch it up a little bit and make it look completely different to what it is now, but first of all, get this in place, get a kind of feel for how big it is and what you need to do, and then you can then adjust it from there. And I end up actually taking one of these areas out of here because it's this top area just ends up to be too big. So There we go, we just adjust, make sure everything's clipping properly on it, and we should be good. There you go, looking alright so far. So I want the building to protrude kind of into that area that we're looking at, so it's going to kind of start there and come round the corner, and that was kind of my vision for the place. I'm going to use, again as I do, I'm going to use a number of Aetheron's mods here. I'm going to start off with Cabin in the Woods, and then I'll switch to, I think it's Atom's Greatness for the walls. But we also do use Snappy House Kit in this build as well. We use several mods, and what I didn't anticipate is that it does cause me some issues, but again, you know, we get round those, especially with the height of these walls in particular. These are quite tall and quite unique, these walls, compared to other walls that you'll find in the game. So I'm not sure why, but this last wall piece gives me all kinds of trouble getting it in, and I've cut some of the parts out that the struggle that, because it takes me about 5 or 10 minutes to get this one wall piece in, and I'm not really clear on why. But anyway, you know, that happens. We just got to keep working around it. So I end up having to glitch it in the end. I try everything I can, and it's the only thing that actually works, and it takes me quite a while. I'll come back to this wall a number of times, but anyway, we make it. It's all good. So far so good. So what I'd like to do in episode, this will probably run to 2 episodes. I'll try and get the main area up and running, and then in part 2 we'll do some of the decoration, or at least I wouldn't say decoration, but some of the work inside the house or inside this structure here. But I think I will show you, we'll put the roof on, and then I'll probably cut to go back outside, and I'll show you what I do to the front of the stone area after we get this part of the house in, the building in. So one of the challenges for me was to get this particular building to fit round the corner. So these pieces are ideal for it, because the roof effectively has to turn almost a 90-degree angle and go back the other way. So these cabin pieces you've seen before, we've used them in a couple of the builds here at Spectacle Island, so nothing new there, but they're great for this kind of build and giving that overall finished look, and they do actually help out a little bit later in solving a problem. So sorry, I did say I was going to possibly go back to the front. I think we'll get this building done first, and then we can concentrate on what we do, because we do switch up the front. So we're going to use Snappy House Kits. Luckily in Snappy House Kits there's a here in the deco kit, there's a exactly matches the walls that I'm going to use, and the walls out front. So we're going to use a couple of these windows. I actually end up moving these windows to start with, but again, as with the structure outside and the foundation, I like to get all this in first, see how it looks, and then I can adjust it from there. So we'll probably put one of these in here and then get a full wall in there. Yep. So there's so many choices in Snappy House Kits for this particular type of brick look, which comes in real useful. That's got an angle on it. It's this one we want. Okay, no problem. So really just trying to feel out how the house should look. These windows go in the end. I end up moving them because I put an element in this particular wall when the windows just don't work. But for now, we've got them in. I do try and put the roof in, but I end up changing that up a little bit later. And again, you can see the difference in the size of the roof. There are these long pieces that sort of work, but this is just one of the challenges that we have by using different kits to build this particular structure. And we're in Atom's Greatness now. I shouldn't have put this roof on like I did now, but I'm just testing to see what it actually looks like, and I'm trying to visualize how the whole build is going to go. And it's at this point that I realize I've probably got one block too many, on the foundation, so I need to take that out. So we'll move that across, and we'll get rid of all these foundation blocks. We don't need those. Here we go. So as a builder, this is just something that you do just to get things right, and then once you've got the kind of base thing in, you can refine it from there. This is a challenging build, and given that it's only kind of conceptually in your head, you know, one of the big things is you've got to just try and figure out how this is all going to work. Now, there's a whole area, here, right here. Now that should sit on the wall there. So what I realise here is there's a gap. So this is where I realise this roof is too high, and so I have to pull all these down. There is an area up here, what I was going to say, where the roof is going to give me some issues. You can see that big gap in there, and I've got to solve that, and that's where these capping pieces that I showed you earlier will help. So everything's clipping to everything else. This is what happens sometimes when you're trying to figure stuff out. You got to remove pieces and put walls in and all kinds of stuff just to try and get the roof. The roofs always give me a drama. I don't know why it is, but the roofs always give me a drama when I'm building. I'm not the best roof builder for some reason. Yeah. And again, the clipping of these walls is, there's something weird goes on, but not quite sure what. See, there's a gap there, so we need to fix that. Yep, there it is now, and we'll move that one across, and that should fix all that. And we're back to this wall again, which we will come back to several times during the build. I don't know. It's a mystery sometimes to me why this happens, but that one piece just won't play ball with the rest of them. But anyway, it's just one of those things. There we go. So we get the roof on. We have that one, and when I done a little bit of a preview build, that wall has to go in last to get this roof to snap on. So you can see it is a struggle with the roof, but it's certainly worth doing to get everything right. And we might have to go inside to get this to click in. Yeah, there we go. Nice. So it's starting to look like something. It's actually starting to look like what we saw at the start of the segment, the start of the video. So okay, so next we need to put some of these windows in up this end like that, and these actually need to be turned around. See how that's got, yeah, just like that. There we go. And then I realise that one's not, so we'll turn them around. Starting to get dark, so we're getting it towards the end of the build, or at least part one of the build. Put some windows in there just to make it look a little bit different. And we're going to shorten this up. What I decide to do here is have a little side part here that you can walk along, but effectively, so along there. And we'll put some foundation blocks in here. These single ones for some reason will snap when nothing else will, but okay, just pull that up, put the next one in, and so we've got a flat area there. So it's getting a little bit dark now, so we're going to finish up fairly soon. We'll just get a few more details done, and then we'll be done for at least part one. I'm hoping to get this all done and finished in 2 parts. I don't see any reason why we can't do that. It's repetitive, so I'm not going to show you everything if there was a value to doing that. For some reason I can't get these to quite marry up. They're not quite big enough for some reason, so I end up having to leave a gap in the corner there, but you can see that's not quite far enough across. These should actually just marry up. You can see right in the corner there. I don't know why they don't fit in that gap. You can see there's a gap there, but what I end up doing is putting those end pieces on just to fill that gap there, and they did it to try and hide that. and I think that's pretty much where we will leave it once we get these done. So I'll say adieu now while we get finished the last part of this build. Thanks for watching. Please tune in for the second part of the build, and we'll do the tour in the last part, and you'll see how we dress up this whole area and make it look a little bit different to what it does now. So thanks for watching. Catch you next time.